Good morning, dear students. In the last class, I discussed how to expand a determinant of order 2 and order 3. And today I will discuss about the properties of determinants. This is a very important topic. In each year, you will get at least one question in board exam from this topic. Let us start with property number 1. The value of the determinant remains unchanged if its rows and columns are interchanged. The value of a determinant remains unchanged if its rows and columns are interchanged. Let us take determinant of order 3. Suppose a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2 and a3, b3, c3 is a determinant of order 3. If we interchange, if we write the rows as columns, if we write the first row, say a1, b1, c1, if we write the first row as first column, if we write the second row as second column, if we write the third row as third column, the value of the determinant will remain unchanged. So if we interchange the rows and columns, if we write the rows as columns, then the value of the determinant will be unchanged. This is property number 1. Next, property number 2. If any two rows or columns of a determinant are interchanged, then sign of the determinant changes. For example, suppose this is a determinant a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2, a3, b3, c3. Suppose this is a determinant of order 3 and suppose the value of this determinant is say 10. Let us assume if we expand this determinant, the value of this determinant is 10. Now if we interchange any two rows, suppose first and second rows are interchanged. If we write the second rows in the position of first row and the first row in the position of second row, that is position of R1 and R2 are interchanged. If we interchange the position of any two rows, its value will be same, that is 10, but its sign will be changed. So value of this determinant will be minus 10. So if we interchange any two rows of a determinant or any two columns of a determinant, its value will remain same, but the sign of the determinant will be changed. Now suppose this is a determinant a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2, a3, b3, c3. Suppose first and second row are interchanged, a2, b2, c2, a1, b1, c1 and a3, b3 and c3. Now like this, if its value is 10, its value will be minus of 10. As we have interchanged first and second row, its value will remain same, but sign will change. So if its value is 10, its value will be minus of 10. Now with this, if we add one minus sign, so minus of minus 10 will become plus 10, which is equal to this. So what is the property now? We can interchange any two rows of a determinant with a minus sign. We can interchange any two columns of a determinant with a minus sign. Now here in this example, what we have done, we have interchanged first two rows. So we have to write in this way, R1 and R2, interchanging these two rows, interchanging R1 and R2, interchanging R1 and R2. We get this result. So we have to mention in this way, you have to write in this way. We have interchanged R1 and R2 here. In the first property, you can see here we have we have write the rows as columns. We have interchanged the rows and columns. In symbol we write in this way, interchanging rows and columns, or interchanging rows and columns. Okay. Next, property number 3. If any two rows or columns of a determinant are identical, then the value of the determinant is 0. If any two rows or columns, suppose the first and third row of a determinant are same. If any two rows of a determinant are identical or same, then the value of the determinant will be 0. Or if any two columns of a determinant are identical, then the value of the determinant is 0. Okay, the proof is very simple. No need to prove the result, prove the property. Just remember, if any two rows are same or any two columns are same, the value of the determinant will be 0. Next, property 4. If each element of a row or column of a determinant is multiplied by a constant k, then its value gets multiplied by k. This is actually multiplication of a determinant by a number. Suppose k is any number and this is a determinant a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2, a3, b3, c3. This is multiplication of a determinant by a number. In case of matrix, we have to multiply all the elements by k, by this number. But in case of determinant, we have to multiply any one row or any column. Now, if we multiply the first row by k, it will become ka1, kb1, kc1, a2, b2, c2, a3, b3, c3. We have multiplied first row by this number, second and third row will remain unchanged. We have to multiply any row, any one row by the constant k, or any one column by the constant k. Okay. Now you can think in this way also. Suppose each number of first row is multiple of k. That is, k is common factor of all the three elements. K is common factor of all the three elements. We can take k common from that row. We can take that number common from that row. Here you see each element of first row is a multiple of k, so we can take this k common, and this will become a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2, a3, b3, c3. You can think in that way also. This is multiplication of a determinant by a number. If we have to take common, we have to take common from any row or from any column. Here each element of first row is a multiple of k, so we can take k common like this. We have taken common, k have come outside, and this become a1, b1, c1. And in converse, if we want to multiply a determinant by a constant, we have to multiply any row or any column by the constant. Here we have multiplied the first row, elements of first row by the constant k. Other two rows will be unchanged. Next, property number 5. If sum or all elements of a row or column of a determinant are expressed as sum of two or more terms, then the determinant can be expressed as sum of two or more determinants. Let us take an example. Suppose this is a determinant a1 plus say p1, b1 plus q1, c1 plus r1, a2, b2, c2, a3, b3, c3. Suppose each element of first row is sum of two elements, two or more elements, but here we have taken two elements, sum of two elements. Then we can break this determinant into two parts. We have to write the first elements a1, b1, c1 in the first determinant a1, b1, c1 plus we have to write the second elements P1, Q1, R1 in the second determinant P1, Q1, R1. Second row and third row A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3 will be same in both the determinants. That means you have to write A2, B2, C2 in the first determinant, A3, B3, C3 in the first determinant as well as in the second determinant. We have to write the same elements. So if each element of a row is sum of two elements, then we can break this determinant into two parts. These two rows will be same in both the determinants. The first elements will be in the first determinant, the second elements will be in the second determinant. Next, property number 6 is the most important formula, and this will be frequently used in solving questions. If to each element of any row or column of a determinant, the equimultiples of corresponding elements of other row or column are added, then the value of the determinant remains same. For example, suppose A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2 and A3, B3, C3 is any given determinant. Now, with the elements of first row, this is the first row, with the elements of first row, if we add k times elements of second row with elements of R1, if we add k times elements of R2, you can see k times elements of R2, with this we are adding k times elements of this. So A1 plus k A2, B1 plus k B2, C1 plus k C2. You can see R1, we are replacing R1 by R1 plus KR2. In the new determinant, the R1 is changed and R1 is replaced by R1 plus k into R2, A1 plus k into A2, B1 plus k into B2, C1 plus k into C2. Only, you can see only R1 is changed. These two are same. And according to this property, the value of this two determinant will be same. If to each element of any row, if we add m times, n times, k times, 2 times, 3 times elements of another row, the value of the determinant will be unchanged. Now we can prove this. You can see it's a very simple proof. Let us start with the right hand side. Now suppose this is the right hand side. Now by using this property number 5, if each element of a row is sum of two elements, then we can break the determinant into two parts. Using this property, if we consider the right hand side, you will see each element of first row is sum of two elements. We can break it into two parts. In the first determinant, A1, B1, C1 will be the first row, A1, B1, C1. In the second determinant, KA2, KB2, KC2 will be the first row. First elements will be in the first determinant, second elements will be in the second determinant. Second and third row will be same in both the determinant. Now each element of first row in this determinant, each element of first row is a multiple of k. So we can take k common. We can take k common. Now if we take k common, the first row will become A2, B2, C2. Now you can see these two rows are identical. A2, B2, C2. A2, B2, C2. These two rows are identical and therefore its value will be 0. We know if any two rows of a determinant or any two columns of determinant are identical, then its value will be 0. So ultimately value of this is 0. K into 0 is 0, equal to only this determinant, which is the left hand side. So this is a very important property. To each element of a row, if we add a multiple of corresponding elements of any other row, with R1 if we add 5 times elements of R2, or with the elements of first row if we add 10 times elements of R3, then the value of the determinant will be same. Similarly, with the elements of any row, suppose with first column, with the elements of first column, if we add a multiple of say 5 times, 10 times, 7 times, 3 times the elements of another column, the second column, the value of the determinant will be same. Now how to use property number 6? Now our main aim will be to bring as much 0 as possible in the determinant, which will make our calculation easier. Suppose this is a given determinant a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2, a3, b3, c3 is a given determinant. Now to bring zeros, what we can do? We can add any two rows, that is with R1 we can add another row, say R1 plus R2, one time elements of R2. Here R1 plus k, this is also of the form R1 plus k R2, but here k is 1. We can add with the elements of any row, we can add another row. Or what we can do with the elements of say R3, we can, if needed, we can add say 5 times elements of R2. In each case, our aim will be to bring as much 0 as possible in the determinant. That will make our calculation easier. What we can do, if we take k equal to minus 1, suppose from R1, from the elements of R1 we want to subtract elements of R2, that also we can do. We can replace R1 by R1 minus R2. With the elements of any row, say R1, we can add all the 3 rows, R1 plus R2 plus R3, R1 plus R2 plus R3. So anything we can do, we can replace R1 by R1 plus R2. With R1 we can add another row, from R1 we can subtract another row, with R3 say R2, with any row we can add a multiple of another row, we can add any 3 rows. Similarly, this thing we can do in case of column also. We can add any 3 columns, from a column we can subtract another column, we can add any 2 columns. Our main aim will be to bring zeros in the determinant. So that is the use of property 6. This is a very important and most useful property. Let us take a question from NCERT book. Using the property of determinants and without expanding, prove that. We have to use the properties, and without expanding we have to prove the value of this determinant is equal to 0. X a x plus a, y b y plus b, z c z plus c. Value of this determinant is equal to 0. This we have to prove. Let us start with the left hand side. Now if we use the last property, you can see x a x plus a, if we add this to column c1 c2, if we replace c1 by c1 plus c2, our c1 will change, this c1 will change to c1 plus c2. This will become x plus a, y plus b, z plus c. Now you can see, if we replace first column by c1 plus c2, if we replace this by this plus this c1 plus c2, after replacing c1 by c1 plus 2, what we get? the first column and the third column are identical. These two columns are identical, and we know if any two columns of determinant are identical, then its value is 0. We have to write the reason as C1 and C3 are identical. C1 and C3 are identical. So it is very simple, and this is application of properties of determinant. Let us take another example. To prove the value of this determinant is equal to 0. The given determinant is the first row a minus b, b minus c, c minus a. Second row b minus c, c minus a minus b. Third row c minus a minus b, b minus c. We have to prove value of this determinant is equal to 0. Now how to prove? You can see these three elements a minus b, b minus c, c minus a are also there in the second, in this column, a minus b, b minus c, c minus a. These three elements are present in second column as well as in third column. If we add these three, then as these three elements are same, but although order is not same, these three elements are same. If we add these three, this plus this will come here, this plus this will come here, and this plus this will come here. See, this plus this this is the first row, this is the second row, this is the third row. If we add, we will get this plus this here, this plus this here, and this plus this here, and these three will be same, as these three elements are same in C1, C2 and C3. So let us replace R1 by R1 plus R2 plus R3. Let us replace R1 by R1 plus R2 plus R3. Now if we add these three, this will become 0, this will become 0, this plus this is 0, this plus this is 0, this plus this is 0. We have replaced R1, so other two rows will be unchanged, b minus c, c minus a minus b, c minus a minus b, b minus c. Now you can see, as all the elements of first row are 0, and if we expand along first row, 0 into something, minus 0 into something, plus 0 into something, ultimately its value will be 0. This, you can consider this as a property also. If all the elements of a row are 0, the value of the determinant will be 0. If all the elements of a column are 0, then the value of the determinant will be 0. As all the elements of first row is 0, so if we expand along first row, the value of the determinant will be 0. The next problem is to prove the value of this determinant is equal to 0. The elements in the first row are 1 bc a into b plus c, 1 ca b into c plus a, 1 ab c into a plus b. What we have to prove? The value of this determinant is equal to 0. This is another very simple but at the same time important question. Let us multiply a into b plus c. Let us break this: ab plus ac, bc plus ab, ca plus bc. Next, what we have to do? Let us add C2 and C3. C2 and C3. You can see AB, AC, BC. That is, if we add these two, C2 and C3, this will become AB plus BC plus CA. This will become AB plus BC plus CA. This will become AB plus BC plus CA. So these three elements will be same. So let us replace C2 by C2 plus C3. 1, 1, 1. This will become AB plus BC plus CA. This will become AB plus BC plus CA. this will become AB plus BC plus CA. AB plus AC, BC plus AB, CA plus BC. Now you can see all the elements of second column are same, AB plus BC plus CA, AB plus BC plus CA, AB plus BC plus CA. So what is our first step? We have added C2 and C3. We can add any two column, we can subtract a column from another column, etc., etc., whatever is needed. Now you can see each element of second column is same, AB plus BC plus CA. So we can take AB plus BC plus CA common from second column. If we take AB plus BC plus CA common, whenever we have to take common, we have to take from any row or from any column. If we take AB plus BC plus CA common, this will become 1, 1, 1. Now you can see these two columns are identical, and if two columns are identical, the value of the determinant will be 0. So ultimately AB plus BC plus CA whole thing into the value of the determinant is 0, so it will be 0. Next question is to prove the value of the given determinant is equal to 0. We have to prove the value of this determinant is equal to 0. For that, we have considered the given determinant equal to delta. Suppose the given determinant is delta. What we have to prove? Delta equal to 0. The value of the given determinant is 0. First, let us interchange the rows and columns. This is property number 1. If we interchange the rows and columns, if we write the first row as first column, second row as second column, third row as third column, the value of the determinant remains unchanged. This is property number 1. Next, let us take minus sign common from the first row, minus 1. This will become 0A minus B. Let us take minus sign common from the second row. This will become minus A, 0, minus C. Let us take from the third row, let us take again minus sign common. It will become B, C and 0. Minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. If we multiply, this will become minus. And you can see 0A minus B. The first 0A minus B. This is 0A minus B. Minus A0 minus C. Minus A0 minus C. BC0. BC0. This two determinant is same. This determinant and this determinant is exactly same. And this determinant is equal to delta. So minus 1, minus 1, minus 1 is minus, and this is our delta. So what we have proved? Delta equal to minus of delta. And if delta equal to minus of delta, then bringing minus delta in that side, 2 delta is equal to 0, and from this we get delta equal to 0. That means the value of the given determinant, we have considered this as delta, and we have showed delta equal to 0. That means the value of the given determinant is 0. Next, here in this question we have to prove value of this determinant is equal to twice of value of this determinant. The determinant in the left hand side is first row B plus C, Q plus R, Y plus Z. Second row C plus A, R plus P, Z plus X. Third row A plus B, P plus Q, X plus Y, equal to 2 into a determinant whose first row is A, P, X, second row B, Q, Y, and third row C, R, Z. Now this is a very important question from exam point of view. Let us start with left hand side. Now what should be our first step? Let us add these three, R1, R2 and R3, B plus C, C plus A plus B. If we add these three, the first row will become twice of A plus B plus C. If we add these three, we will get 2 into A plus B plus C. If we add these three, it will become twice of P plus Q plus R. And if we add these three, we will get twice of X plus Y plus Z. So what we have done here, we have replaced R1 by R1 plus R2 plus R3. R1 plus R2 plus R3. We have added these three rows for R1 plus R2 plus R3, and we have replaced R1 by R1 plus R2 plus R3. This is now our new R1. The second row and third row will be unchanged. So C plus A, R plus P, Z plus X, A plus B, P plus Q, X plus Y. Next, we can take 2 common. You can see each element of first row has 2 as common factor. So we can take 2 common. So this will be twice of A plus B plus C, P plus Q plus R, X plus Y plus Z, C plus A, R plus P, Z plus X, A plus B, P plus Q, X plus Y. So this is our first step. What we have done, R1 plus R2 plus R3, and then we have taken 2 common. Next, you see in the right hand side there is 2, and we already got 2 here. Now if we replace R2 by R2 minus R3, if we replace R2 by, not R3, if we replace R2 by R2 minus R1, then our R2 will be this minus this, so we'll get minus of B, minus of Q, minus of Y. Okay. Now in this new determinant, our R2 has changed. In this determinant, the second row is C plus A, R plus P, Z plus X, and in the new determinant, as we have replaced R2 by R2 minus R1, our R2 will change to this minus B, minus Q, minus Y, and R1 and R3 will be same here like this determinant. Now again, as C1 and C3 are same, again let us replace R3. As you can see in this determinant, first step is we have replaced R2 by R2 minus R1, so R2 is changed. R1 and R3 are unchanged here in this determinant also. Now in the same step, if we replace R3 as it is unchanged, R3 minus R1, our R3 will become, you can see R3 minus R1, this minus this will become minus C, minus of R, minus of Z. Here R3 is changed. What is unchanged? R1. You can do this in 2 steps also. First step, R2 minus R1, your R2 will be changed. In the next step, in the next line, replace R3 by R3 minus R1, your R3 will change. So in the first step, your R2 has changed. In the second step, R3 has changed. Okay. So these two will be different, but R1 is unchanged here also, like this. Now if we add these three, if we replace R1 by R1 plus R2 plus R3, what will get? This will become, if we add these three, this will become A, because B plus C minus B minus C will get cancelled. This will become P and this will become X. We have replaced R1, only R1 will be changed, this 2 will be unchanged. So minus B minus Q minus Y minus C minus R minus Z. And in the next step, what we have to do? We have to take minus sign common from second row and minus sign common from the third row. So minus 1 will come out from second row, again minus 1 will come out from the third row, minus 1 into minus 1 will become plus 1. So we will get twice of A, P, X, B, Q, Y, C, R, Z, and which is the right hand side. And this is a very, very important question from exam point of view. Now these two are your homework questions. First, without expanding the determinant, prove that these two determinants, the value of these two determinants are same. The first determinant is A square BC, B square CA, C square AB is equal to the second determinant. The first row is 1 square A cube, 1 B square B cube, 1 C square C cube. You have to prove value of this determinant are same. Next one is a very, very important question. If A, B, C are in AP, then prove that the value of the determinant is equal to 0. First row, x plus 2, x plus 3, x plus 2a, x plus 3, x plus 4, x plus 2b, x plus 4, x plus 5, x plus 2c. We have to prove value of this determinant is equal to 0. In the next class, we will discuss some more questions from the chapter determinant. That's all for today. Thank you.